Hello, everyone. Good to see you all. It's been a little while since I've been on, actually. I know that you guys have been in great hands with our top leaders running the show, giving you all the important announcements every week. So I know you're always in good hands. Anyways, I hope everyone is well. Please let us know in the comments where you are zooming in from. We'd love to say hello to you all. All right, let's see. I'm in Hawaii. Oh, it doesn't look like I'm in Hawaii. I have a different background. I do not know why these backgrounds keep changing on me. First, 1 second I was on the beach, and then now I am someplace else. Okay, interesting. Okay, this one hopefully will stick and stay. Otherwise, you never know. Maybe by the end I'll be in San Francisco. Anyways, it gave you a couple minutes to let me know where you're zooming in from. Hey, Danielle, good to see you. Jaya, hello from Florida. Paige from North Carolina, good to see you. We've got people from all over the world. A lot from the United States, since this is our United States, well, our North America call, but we've got people that tap in from all over the world. We've got Tennessee, we've got Texas, New York City. Oh my gosh, we've got people from everywhere. Good to have you all. Hi, Clinton, good to see you. I know that many of you just got back from our amazing trip in Mexico. It looked like you all had the best time. And speaking with Jefferson and Micaiah, saying that just the combination of the people, the experience, the location, they said one of the best experiences. So I'm jealous. I wish I was there with you. Maybe we need to redo it again so that I can be there with you. We can relive all those memories. But anyways, yeah, I saw the videos, I saw the pictures, and it looked like an amazing time. But we're not finished yet. We do these often around the world. We pop these up in different places in the world, and you can always check out DreamTrips.com to see all the trips that we have available in any given moment. And so on this call, I'm going to share with you some brand new trips, and then you're always welcome to go and check out what else we have on dreamtrips.com, like I said. But anyways, let's go back. Let's see. Okay, we've got a lot from New York City. Hey, everybody, Pennsylvania. Okay, I miss it, Shayna. You miss it. Yes. Like I said, everyone said it was an amazing group because of the people and the trip. So good job to all of you. So let's go right into some of my announcements, or actually my trip that I'm going to announce. Now, I know that many of you absolutely love cruises. And so we have another cruise that we have for you because you guys just gravitate to these so quickly. So this one is going to be cruising through the Bahamas and Dominican Republic, but starting in Port Canaveral in Florida. This is a trip we're thinking way in the future, March 1st through the 7th. So if we're thinking like spring break time. So if you are planning your spring break for the upcoming year, which I know it's kind of crazy, it's still the middle of summer, but kids are going to go back to school, and then you're going to be thinking, what's next? Christmas is next, holidays are next, and then you got to figure out where you're going for spring break. So this could be that very trip for you. This one actually does go away by August 3rd because the cruising industry, they book up fast. They do not mess around. So if this is something that you're interested in, I would say seize the opportunity. And I will say it will still be on possibly, if they still have cabins available, it could possibly be on sale further past this date. However, the great pricing that we have secured is only good until that date, because as it gets closer to the cruise, a lot of times it will peak, it will keep increasing based on demand, and then at the very end, if they have a few cabins left, then it might go a little lower or even more. So you never know. It's just kind of, that's the nature of the beast when it comes to travel. No, my video is on. Okay, I'm being told that my video is off. So if you cannot see me, you could just let me know in the comments. Sorry about that. Oh, okay, now my slides are being switched on me. Could you, I think you've taken control of my computer somehow. Can you go back to that? Okay, let's start all over again. Okay, here we go. So anyways, let's go back to this cruise. It is 7 days, 6 nights. Quite lengthy cruise. You'll have your breakfast, lunch, and dinner and snacks provided on board, inclusive in that price. It does start at $619 per person. Starts there. You can always, upgrade your room and add on bells and whistles to make it the experience that you want. But like I said, you're going to go to Dominican Republic and multiple ports in the Bahamas. There are pools, hot tubs. There's a spa and fitness center that for those that want to continue, be healthy. Yeah, you're going to go eat at the buffets, but you can also, do a little exercise too. There's always entertainment on cruises. If you've never been, there's shows, discos, comedy clubs, bars, lounges. There's so many different things that you can do on a cruise. They definitely keep you entertained, that's for sure. And then also continuing in the sporting arena, there's a sports square there with a basketball court. And for those that like to go shopping, you can shop on the ship or at any of the ports that you stop and visit. So this one, like I said, booked by August 3rd, and this is a cruise, a Carnival cruise specifically. So definitely check out more information on dreamtrips.com to get the full agenda, the full everything about this event, if this is, or this trip, if you are interested in this trip. But like I said, go to dreamtrips.com. You can see all the different trips we have. I'm super excited about a few trips that we actually have coming in the next couple of weeks. We're working, our staff is working very hard on creating these different locations that we used to have a long time ago that we're kind of bringing back because they were popular back then. And we're just, bringing them back. But yeah, so keep on the lookout. We always have new things coming every week. But that is that for this week. So now what I want to do for more information and more trips, I'd like to go ahead and send it out to our CEO of Dream Trips, Mark Smith.
Hey, thanks a lot there, Tammy. And if you could just not, you just cancel your slides. And super pumped to be here. And I tell you what, guys, what I'm going to talk about here today, I'm super excited about. I can see Tammy now on my screen. I couldn't see her before, so I'm hoping you guys could see her. We're both out here in Hawaii. She's inside, I'm outside, obviously, here, so we don't talk over each other. Although I talk loud, so I'm sure she can hear me right through the windows there. But something I'm going to talk about here today is just very exciting. It's a trip we're working on. Before I go into really the main part of what I'm going to do here today on the Zoom, I want to talk about why these trips are so important. And so just kind of a little mini training. I know a lot of you are veterans of how to do this business and how to grow a travel community, but we always have new people showing up that it's their first time doing anything like this. Like they joined because a friend said, hey, check out these cool hip trips. And they went and joined and didn't even know that you could grow a travel community, didn't know there was travel rewards or perks or the ability to even earn income when you refer people to the community. And so I always want to reach out to, I know we have a lot of new people joining, and so I always want to reach out and get to the base level of really a brand new dream tripper, right? So if that's you on here today, or if you're fairly new, maybe you haven't been on your first trip yet, this is great information. But those who have already been on 1, 2, 10, 20, there's people on here that have been on literally over 100 dream trips, right? So they're veterans. But to get back to that very, very first dream trip, why that's so important. So if you have not yet been on a dream trip, I bet there's a lot of people on here right now that just came from their very first dream trip. So maybe in the chat, if you could even just say, hey, I just went on my first dream trip. If it was your first dream trip, say that was in the last 4 months. And then where was it? And why, maybe even the chat, even giving a tip on why it's so important to go on your very first dream trip. And so for me, and if you're taking notes here today, if you're new, hopefully you are taking notes, is why is my first dream trip important? Because that's really going to be your story, right? Like, hey, all I know is I went on my first dream trip. I went to Cancun, or I went to Playa del Carmen, or I went to Prague, or I went to Rome, Italy, or I went to Montego Bay, Jamaica. I mean, these are all cool spots that we go to, right? Dominican Republic, Thailand, Dubai. And so, why is it so important? Because in this business, there's something called becoming a product of the product, right? It's probably the number one thing. So for example, just imagine if you're in a health and fitness company and you just live on fast food and don't forget about going to a gym. You won't even go on a walk, right? It's going to be a tough time selling a health and fitness product, right? Because you want to be a product of the product. So you want to be using the product. Talk about your metamorphosis, your change. What are the products like? If you're on some type of a healthy cleanse product, you're explaining, how it's working, why it's working, what the science is behind it. What's great about our business in building a travel community is we don't have a lot to learn, right? We don't have ingredients to memorize and have to, learn the scientific sales pitch, right? What we do is we travel. And so we just share our stories from these trips that we go on. And I see a lot of people like Danielle right there, like talking about it was their first trip. And we've had a big group come from Playa and also from Santorini, Greece. Okay. Not too long ago, we had a sold out trip in Jeju Island, Korea, for example. That was primarily from our Chinese members. It was all Chinese, matter of fact. And so, and then shortly before that, we had, a volunteer trip also in Greece. We had a Thessaloniki trip to Greece. And then we just had a fairly recent a tour that went through Germany, Budapest, Hungary, and Slovenia or Slovakia. That was one group that linked 3 back-to-back-to-back trips together. So if you haven't been on a dream trip yet, or you're not like really connected to the community, you may not realize like, wow, all that stuff is going on around the world. We probably have 30 to 40 trips in the portal right now. Tammy just launched another one. I'm going to highlight one here. It's what we call a mega trip, is when we all focus on one trip. But why it's important is being a product of the product. And so what I can tell you that I've learned in my history being here. So DreamTrips been around a lot longer than I've been around DreamTrips, right? I've been here a little over 3 years as the owner and the CEO. For Tammy and I, we've seen this we've watched this product and this brand evolve for more than almost 2 decades basically. Well, we have been in this industry, so we were always jealous of DreamTrips. Like, man, that is like the best idea ever. The product is a dream trip. It's like, it's a dream trip. Like, what do you sell? A dream trip. Like, what do? You go on dream trips. Like, how do you grow your team? You get them on dream trips. Like, well, how do you make money? It's like by promoting dream trips. I mean, just think about it, right? But we overcomplicate it because a lot of us come from other industries and other businesses where it's like, yeah, but there must be more to it, right? It's like, not really. You're going to learn how the rewards program works. You're going to become a better leader, a better person. You're going to go through development, some trainings like this and other trainings and trips that have transformation trainings on them. But I can give you how to be successful here in one call, as long as you plug into the next call, because there's always growth you're going to go through, but there's not a lot to learn about DreamTrips. Number one is become a product of the product. So if you have not registered for a dream trip yet, that's the number one thing on here, is to book the next dream trip. Number two is plug into the system, because you want to, when I first joined this industry about 22 years ago, I was told follow the leader, right? And I was like, okay, that sounds pretty simple, but like really follow the leader. Who's the leader for you? The leader could be the company. The leader could be the person that invited you to the community. The leader could be someone that, because they have a certain rank, achievement level, that you're like, okay, that's someone that's really making it happen. It's obviously leadership we put on this Zoom, right? And in leadership, you've been introduced. So it's just follow the leader. So you're plugging yourself and your team into where the rest of the leaders are plugged into. And that's obviously here. Every other week we do this call here, the DTI Connection, Global Connection. This is global way to globally meet. We do a once a month, and my wife will share with this a little bit later, a Saturday virtual Dream Trips Academy. That's where we dive in over like 2.5 hours or so into some more meat and potatoes of our business. But really, step one, becoming a product of the product, is going to give you so much knowledge, because we can put up slides, we can make videos, we can train on it. But Dream Trips has to go from your head to your heart. Like your head is, you're like listening to a presentation. You are reading a slide with all the details. You're hearing other people's stories, which obviously is probably the most impactful, other than you going. But then when you go, you realize, oh, this is what a dream trip is, right? And that is it starts before you even get there. Okay, it really does. It starts when you, first of all, when you buy the trip, you're finally committed and excited, right? So that's the first part. The other thing is, when you're a product of the product, there's an old saying that people will come from miles around to watch you burn, right? And so it's like, once you register, you're now fully committed, right? So now you're promoting it differently. You have a pep in your step. You're talking about going to Greece in a different way, Playa del Carmen, okay? You're talking about how like you can't wait to get to this trip. You're talking about how you're meeting other friends of yours from around the world, other dream trippers on this trip. And what's happening is the people around you are now inquisitive of dream trips, right? They're like, well, tell me more about dream trips, okay? And so when you're just when it's just, oh, I'm in this thing called dream trips, you're in the community, but being part of the community is getting on that first one and then going and getting in a rhythm, what we call our dream trips rhythm, which I'm really going to highlight today. And so that first trip is that important. And so what a lot of people, especially if you're new and you haven't been on one, like I guarantee all these people that this was just your first one, you knew what a dream trip was, right? Oh, it's a dream trip. It's fun, happy. It's going to be nice. It's going to be cool. There's going to be cool people. There's going to be food. we're going to go to a cool place, right? But I'm sure you'll admit that once you engaged in the process of being a dream tripper, a couple weeks before you got added to the WhatsApp group, you probably 10 days before or so, you got to meet your host for the first time. Hey, it's Christy. Hey, it's Apostolos. I'm going to be your host here on this dream trip. You then started to get info. Like, this is the cool part. Like, people take this for granted sometimes, but if you're traveling for the first time globally, or it's the first time you're in a specific country or environment, the host is like, hey, look, it's going to rain on day one, then it's sunny. It's tropical wear, or flip-flop sunscreen, hat, bring some pants for the evening. They're going to tell you what's going on, right? That's the beginning. That's the first experience that someone is going on their first trip. And then every trip thereafter is your host is saying, ta-da, I'm here, looking forward to meeting you guys. Here's what's going on in Greece right now. Hey, here's what the weather's like in Jamaica. Hey, it's a little hot here in Dubai. Hey, Slovakia is looking good to ski. So we're going on the other spectrum, like it's time to ski. And you're getting that. And then you're starting to see all these people pop into the group, right? You got 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. Like these last two trips, you had over 100 people in each group communicating with each other. Hey, awesome. I'm watching some of you guys still communicate. Hey, it's cool to meet everyone. And then you realize like, oh, all right, cool. It lowers the guard, right? It like puts the vacation on. It puts the dream trip membership into a different scenario. You're like, oh, this is cool. Are these people cool? Like, this is, oh, wow, I didn't know it worked like this. Like, oh, I'm a part of this group. Like, hey, everybody. And then the next thing you know, now you're getting the play-by-play, day by day countdowns. Day 5, looking forward to meeting you guys. Day 4, I'm your host here. It's Christy. Hey, make sure you got your passport. Make sure you get all your documents. See you guys. Here's your pickup time at the airport. Next thing you know, you're at the airport. You're all nervous. If you've never been in a foreign country before, you're like, oh my gosh, where do I meet the dream trip guy? And this thing is like, ta-da, there's the dream trip guy with his sign, or you miss the turn and you end up at the wrong gate and you go, oh my God, I can't find my ride, my dream trip person. And you go to the chat. These sound like basic things, but look, I travel all over the world. I'm nervous in every new country for the first time. Heck, I'm nervous on my 50th trip. Like, I got anxiety about traveling, right? And it's like, I want it just to be like smooth because you're going on vacation, right? You're like trying to go to chill, not to like worry about if you missed the taxi, wrong hotel, chose the wrong excursion, all that kind of stuff, right? And so now you're in the WhatsApp. If you get lost, you're like, I'm lost. What am I going to do? And I watched on this last trip. Some of you guys made a video. You're like, I'm at the airport. I'm with the guy right now. Here's what it looks like. Walk down this hallway, go left. And people put that in the chat. And just imagine if you're the person that's lost. Like, oh my God, this is so cool. Like 20 people I don't even know. Like 3 of them don't even speak English. They're from other countries. They're like trying to guide me to my dream trip guy, right? And that's like the first impression. And that's what people get. And then it's like, get to the hotel and the host is there to accommodate you and everything's going smooth. And, 9.9999 times out of 10, we've been to those same resorts over and over and over and over and over again. So we've really worked out the kinks. Unless we're exploring a new property, we typically do that ourselves. We don't test that on you guys. And then it's kind of like the next level of lowering your guard. It's like, I'm at the resort. And hopefully you get handed a Dreamsicle, which on some of our trips is our signature drink. And then you're like, okay, no matter where you are, no matter where you touch down in the world, you got this, I'm on a dream trip. If it's your first time, you're like, whoa, this is cool. Like my room, like there's a host and like I got my room and like I get it. And now next thing you know, and this is the next part where the guard gets lowered, is in that WhatsApp group where it's usually the first couple. I know Mario is probably on here. Mario is the first one almost every single time. He usually goes in a day early. He's like, it's Mario. I'm at the pool bar. It's cool. They got appetizers, the drinks, the music is cool here. Hook up, and people are, hey, I'm there. I'm on my way down. And then there's people that have never been on a dream trip. They're like, oh, awesome. We're heading down now. And then you meet other dream trippers that they're on their 20th trip. They're like, hey, where are you from? Right. It is so cool. Hadi, I love you, popping in here about that, because it's like, I already thought dream trips was cool when all you dream trippers were like crisscrossing the globe and the rest of us were selling other products, earning money to go on a trip, which was really just your product. That's really the rest of the industry, really is. It's really very unique. But it's way beyond what the brochure shows you. It's way beyond what we can create in a video. It's even way beyond the testimonial video because it's your personal experience. That's the big difference, right? And so, and then you get to this hotel and you're chilling out, and then the next big one, the next benchmark, the next emotional touch point, the next rush of like, wow, this is such a great feeling, is at the welcome reception, like, especially if it's your first time. I'm talking to first timers, right? And definitely people that have never traveled before, but definitely first timers, even in DreamTrips. And you get there and it's like, oh, there's some music playing. Depend on where we are in the world. You're in the ski slopes in Slovenia at the Eco Lounge right there in Bohemia, Slovenia, or you're at Playa the Fives, which is such a cool vibe there in Playa del Carmen, or you're on the beach of Catarini, one of our resorts there, Catarini, Greece, or you're on a volunteer trip, somewhere else in the world. And then you're getting handed an appetizer, a drink, a glass of wine, whatever, a soda, and you're chilling out. You might be with your kids, you might be single on that trip. You're like, this is awesome, right? And people are like, oh, where are you from? Everyone just wants to know where you're from. Like, it's kind of funny. Like, there's no agenda, right? It's not a business meeting in any shape or form. I mean, I think that's the last thing it is, right? People are like, no way, it's not a business meeting. We're chilling, we're dream tripping. But what it ends up turning into is like people will truly want to know where you're from. Like, hey, where are you from? It's like they're trying to make another friend. Like, hey, where are you from? Are you from a cool country? Like, I'm from Jamaica. Oh, awesome. Where are you from? I'm from London. Oh, I've always wanted to go. People are crisscrossing the globe now as friends, long before Tammy and I came to DreamTrips. Might be on their 30th trip together, families, kids together, because they met on a dream trip somewhere, right? So welcome reception starts that process. And then it's like, man, then it's like total de-stress because like the host is like, all right, tomorrow we're getting on a bus, we're going to Xcaret, or we're going to a catamaran, or we're going to the Vatican or the Colosseum, or we're going on a catamaran around the Greek islands. I mean, the last trip you guys, I think you went to Athos, and someone else took care of it all, and that's a good meal. Then you get back to the resort, you might have another excursion another day or down days, Pathos, and then Jaya, of course, right? Jaya's on every trip. And then it's like it's so hard to explain this in a video. That's why I'm talking today specifically to anyone that's not been on a dream trip, and those of you that obviously you're driving and building a community, getting everybody to a dream trip. Okay. And so then then there's the final something, which is either a farewell dinner or farewell experience. We do blue parties, white parties. We just did an all-inclusive like party in both Greece and Playa in Mexico. There was a blue party, two white parties. Sorry. So maybe it was a blue party and a white party, but regardless, it was a party. and so, um, here's the thing. So, really building step number one is be a product of the products. Building step number two, right, is recruit to the next trip. Okay. And I hate to use the word recruit because it's so businessy and so salesy, right? Come up with a better like grow into the next trip or grow before the next trip. And really what you're trying to do, you're trying to add members to your travel community. See, what people don't realize sometimes what sets Dream Trips apart is we truly are a travel community, right? And so it's like, yeah, you're building a team, but not in the same fashion of the older way to do direct sales. I've been around 22 years, back to when you did, hardcore presentations, sales presentations, meetings, a little bit more formal, right? And some of those products require that. But this is like totally different. Like you are building you're building your travel community. Okay, your travel community is a community of members that you add and members of your members add, right? So you add members, and then some people join and they want to help build their own travel community. So they're joining your group, and that's growing your travel community. And then you're part of the overall Dream Trips global travel community, right? And so you're always building into the next trip. So point number two is if you're not in the what I would call the Dream Trips rhythm, you have to be in at some level to really be in our system of how we grow our travel community. And what that is we run what we call a mega trip every 4 months. Okay, a mega trip is where all of the community builders, like the big leaders around the world, they're already doing their own little trips. They're going on these little trips to Prague. They're going on, grabbing one of these cruises. Like I know Dwayne Lodge, for example, like they just got back his group, big group on a cruise, right? So people are doing their own little mini dream trips. They're grabbing one out of the portal or they're booking something in the discount engine, right? But then every 4 months, and we try to really put this out so that you can follow it. Every 4 months, in several regions, we do what's called a mega trip, and we try to separate them a little bit so that if you're a leader building all over the globe, or if your cash flow allows it, and you've already gotten to the next level of what we call the Dream Trips lifestyle, you're doing both. Like, so we do one in North and South America right now, which is anywhere from the U.S., Mexico, Dominican Republic, Costa Rica, all the way up into Canada, right? So it's really, we call NASA, North and South America, overall, right? And then into Canada. And then so although we got Mike on here today, I saw you that we haven't had a trip in Canada in quite a while. We might have to add a Banff at some point. We get a lot of requests for that. But across the other side of the pond, we have what I call Middle East, Africa, and Europe. We kind of run that as one region. So like you've noticed, we just added Cape Town. We added a safari in Kenya. We had a trip to London. We have obviously Dubai, and then we have just tons through Europe. Now we have a lot of Europe trips. People ask me why, because we have a lot of people that from all over the world. So it's not like Europeans on Europe trips, although they do a lot of trips there. It is just for whatever reason. You can go from Asia to the United States. People love going on our Europe trips. And so the reason I want to bring that up is every 4 months we have this rhythm. So Greece was a rhythm. In Europe right now, they're promoting the next trip, which is Croatia, okay, in September. In North America, North and South America, the trip was to Playa de Carmen, which a lot of you were just on. There's a lot of people from both Greece and Playa de Carmen on here. So if you're on in Europe somewhere, you're probably promoting. You went to Greece, then you went Prague Valentine's Day with Jefferson Santos and the crew, right? You had Attila and you had Shusha there. All the leaders came together in Prague. Very cool trip. And from there, pushed into the next trip, which was Greece. That's now gone behind us, and now pushed into the next trip is Croatia. If you go to the other side of the world over here, I say over here, but I'm in Hawaii right now, so I'm in a totally different. I'm in an island in the middle of nowhere, right? And so, and by the way, Tammy and I are here for 4 months, 4 or 5 months, hopefully longer. But we moved into living halftime at our place here in Hawaii, which is crazy time zones all over the world, right? And so here's the thing: on the other side of the world, in North South America, from trip to trip to trip, which just ended the trip to Playa de Carmen, and now the next trip is actually in Disney. I'm going to talk that here today, Disney California. But I'm going to actually launch something pretty special today. Also, an update on the Disney trip. Very, very excited to talk about that. I don't want to go into that yet, but that's the next trip. So it's every 4 months. Every 4 months, we call them mega trips for a couple of reasons. One, first of all, I want to give you an open invitation to get on the next trip. Okay. And if you're on here globally, even from anywhere in the world, get on the next North America trip. And the reason for that is that we are really building that mega trip rhythm really, really works because you get all the leaders. So if you're a community builder and you're like, how do I grow a travel community? And so if you look at the steps I'm going through here today, step 3 is really identifying what level of the DreamTrips lifestyle do you want, right? So step 1, be the product, get on a trip. Step 2, always be promoting the next trip because that's how you grow your community. And step number 3 is like, I would say it's between 1 to 4 trips a year is our dream trip rhythm because we do one every 4 months. But if you're either A, your discretionary income, your budget allows it, or B, you're growing your own travel community here that feeds your dream trip lifestyle, right? Because that's why a lot of people are here. They're making money on the side, but the main focus is like their environment is a dream trip, their lifestyle is a dream trip, their friends are dream trippers, and it really is a lifestyle. If you look at the original brand of DreamTrips for 20 years, I mean, people went on 10, 20, 40, 50, 100, 200, 300 trips. It's insane. And some people have said, oh, there's no way you can go on 200 trips. But the reality is if you've been in a community for 15 years and you're going on 1 trip a quarter, then 2 trips a year, then 4 trips a year, then 1 a month. And then a lot of these big community builders, they were on more than 1 trip a month. You might say, I don't know if I'd want to do that. Trust me. Okay. You'd want to do it. If your budget allowed and you were making that much travel rewards, okay. I've traveled all over the world. I've been on a cycle like that, not in DreamTrips, like just paying on my own and just because I'm using the money as an entrepreneur to travel the world. But to do that as a living is what I love about DreamTrips the most. So step 3 is really identifying what level is that. So I want to help you with that right now. It's one, the immediate goal is to try to get on every mega trip, okay, in your region. So like you're going every 4 months. Your goal is to do it. Now, if you say, man, work doesn't allow or budget doesn't allow, you might miss one and then you hit the next one. But your goal is every mega trip, which is about every 4-month rotation, which gives you a trip a quarter. Now, some of you are like, man, I can't swing that right away. That's fine. Just do a trip every other quarter. Our goal is to get you on a trip a quarter. You deserve it. I mean, just look at that. 1 trip a quarter is more than reasonable. It doesn't mean that if you're in California, you're trying to go to Rome, or it doesn't mean if you're, for example, if you're, living in Hungary, it doesn't mean that you're coming to Disney once a quarter. So one may be like a mega trip that you're going to go to that's like far away, a little bit more pricey. something big, more elaborate, or it might be something, in your region that's a little bit, bigger of a discount and flight is a little bit easier, right? But your goal is to go on once a quarter. I mean, just think of that, and then adding your kids if you've got kids in a family. Maybe you don't, they're not going on every one with you, but they're going on every other or every third. That's what I did for a while. But every third trip, Tammy would jump on it. About every third trip, we try to get our kids on it as I traveled around the world for business. And so those three things: be a product of the product, um, um, drive the every month, 4 month rhythm. Using the next trip to recruit. So you use it to grow, and then to get into the every 4 month mega trip rhythm. Now, in step number two, using the trips to grow. This is really important. I've been doing this for 22 years in sales of some format of skincare, nutrition, you name it. Okay. And you're always trying to figure out like how to sell your product. Okay. And it's not always easy. Some products are not easy to sell. Okay. And here people try to learn like how to sell their product. And the reality is it's like maybe try to unlearn how to sell a product. I know it sounds crazy, right? But what that means is the fact that you are the product here. Like people want to join you. People want to join the fun. People want to join the community. People want to go to new places. People want cooking lessons in Italy. People want to, live through other people's eyes until they can get on the ground where those other people have been. People want to go to, Budapest, Hungary for strudel making. People want to go to Colorado to the supercar racetrack. People want to go to Dubai and go to the world's tallest building. Right? People want to go to Thailand and go to the floating market or the elephant sanctuary. Right? That's what people want to do. Right? So you don't have to sell that. You just have to show it. Okay, not only yourself. So you have your own story. That's why step number one is be a product of the product and get on your first trip. But you have other people's stories. So even before you get on all these trips, I just shared. I've never been to the elephant sanctuary, but I know Hadiatu has, and she's on here right now, right? I've never gone on the 2-story cruise room. It's the number one cruise room, and the thing is like insanely expensive that Jefferson took his family on. There's a slide from one floor to the next in your room. You've never seen a room like that in your life on a cruise ship. Usually you get like a little closet on a cruise ship. They had a 2-story like townhouse, penthouse suite, on a cruise ship. I tell that story. Okay. I've been pizza making in Italy, but I haven't done the strudel making in Budapest. So I'm using someone else's story. Right. So I learned the stories and I just share with people what the Dream Trips community is about. And like some of the trips that some of my friends have gone on and how I want to go on some of those, trips as well. And so, in addition to that, I'm sharing my own stories. I've been, whitewater rafting in Slovenia with my kids. I've been to Krka National Park in Croatia. I've been to the Prague Castle 6-7 times. I've been to Poland. I've been to Romania. I've been to Dubai. I've been all over the U.S. I've been to Playa, Dominican Republic 3 times. I've been to Jamaica twice. There's a couple other Mexico trips. Okay, the Christmas markets. These are all dream trips in the last 36 months, and I'm leaving plenty of them out. Think about how crazy that is, right? And so it's a simple 3-step system, right? Step one, be a product of the product, register now if you haven't done that. Step two is you're always building to the next trip. That's how you grow your community. It's sharing stories and saying, you got to be on the next one. And all right, great, I'll go. How do you get them on the next one? They got to become a member, right? So you're always using the next trip. There was never a next trip. There wouldn't be a reason to promote anything. There wouldn't be a reason to sign anyone up for anything. What is the reason for someone to sign up right now? You got to get on the next trip with us, wherever that is. Okay. And so what I want to do now, real quick, I'm going to share with you because our next trip is very, very important. Okay. Very, very important because in our next trip sequence, what we're doing is we're basically, in essence, we are promoting our next mega trip to Disney, California. Okay. This is very, very important. This is a trip that people are already registering. This was our next mega trip, trip to Disney, California adventure. I'll bake out the details. This is not just any Disney trip. You get to go to both parks. Most people don't know they're two completely separate trips, really, but we've put them together. So one full day at Disney, which my wife is going to elaborate. She's the queen of Disney. Okay, my wife goes to Disney like seriously 3 to 6, 7 times a month when we're in Cali with my daughter. They got annual passes. They know every cool feature of Disney. Okay, so this is not a regular Disney trip. This is so custom. You're going to really get, what someone's gone to Disney 30, 40 times. They know exactly where to go. They know exactly where to get the cool stuff. They know exactly what time, how to maximize getting on all the key rides. It is an art. Okay. So if you're not a Disney fanatic like our family is, Just be thankful that you're going to get like the chauffeured custom tour through Disney. Okay, but this trip is I'm gonna this is like literally this is what 4 weeks ago we were in Disney as a family. That's my daughter there. She's getting married. We're in Hawaii. Our daughter's getting married here in about a week and a half. So that's why we're here, but we're also staying at the house for a couple months with my son. And this is us at Disney, okay? And the difference of going on a Disney trip when with people that know how to do it is like, okay, there's all these like famous things in Disney. I'm gonna be a foodie for a second. So these are matcha beignets. Every season is something different. Like right now, it's called San Fran Tokyo, which is a spin on San Francisco and Tokyo, Japan. So there's an entire theme in California Adventure on Tokyo and San Francisco. The food, the rides, the everything, the ambiance. It's super cool. They're always changing. This one was matcha tea beignets. So these are famous at Disney. You got to get the beignets. They're like little donuts with there won't be matcha. There'll be some other thing. And then you get in Star Wars land, you get the Cocoa Puffs cold brew. Okay, I know it sounds cheesy, but if you're a coffee lover like me, you absolutely want to try this. It's so ridiculous. But like you wouldn't know about this stuff. Like, where do you go? How do you get to in Disney? It could in two parks. It could take you like a half a day to find the cafe in Star Wars land to get that. Okay, of course you always have to get Dole Whip ice cream. And then I'm just telling you, once again, we're coffee lovers here. So the peanut butter latte is ridiculous. Okay. Like we fight over it. And like you wouldn't know that that only opens at 11 a.m. right near San Francisco, Tokyo, and the in the San Francisco, and the line is going to be around the corner, right? So these are some of the things that you're going to get as an added bonus. My daughter, who's not on here, Tammy can comment. We're making her take the day off of work because you can go to Disney and ride like one ride in a whole day if you don't know what you're doing, or you can go to Disney and get on every major key ride like Star Wars, Raiders of the Lost Ark, all of the like absolute rides that are a must through both parks. And so we're gonna have like a special group on this trip. You can go to Disney and just go with the flow all day long, no problem. This thing is totally put together. I'm going to show you the pricing. We even now have a special payment plan. It's a quick one, but we've added other features. And or you can go on kind of the VIP tour where we're going to meet in the morning before the gates open. My daughter's going to literally be there ready, and like you'll know, we're going to follow an itinerary where like by noon you've done more than people go for a week because they don't know like how do you get right to Star Wars, right? How do you get right to this? How do you at what time should you there's certain times. Also, this sounds kind of cheesy, but there's an app. We'll be tracking the line times. You're not going to get that if you just show up not a part of Dream Trips in a travel community like this. We're going to be watching the line times through an app, and we're going to say, all right, guys, in our WhatsApp group, we say, guys, shifting. We're going to Raiders of the Lost Ark first, then Star Wars. Boom, meet at this gate. And so that's going to be a really cool thing. And then, of course, go to the coolest food parts of Disney. They've totally upped their game, guys. They have such cool, off the chart food little things for the foodies all over the park, including the garlic pretzel. That's my best choice so far. It didn't make the slide. But in addition to that, I want to let everybody know, as you can see right here, this is the new updated Disney slide. I'm letting everybody know right now, we've also turned this into a leadership trip. So it's not only the next 4-month trip in the Dream Trip Rhythm, it's not only the next mega trip, but Tammy and I are actually flying home specifically to be on this trip. And we're going to be adding a leadership gathering. Okay, we don't know what the details of that are as far as location. But we're making it a leadership trip, which simply means for those of you that are building Dream Trips, building a travel community where you want to earn obviously travel rewards, commissions, trips, points, all that kind of cool stuff. We're going to be getting together privately as a leadership group. So I just encourage every leader on here promote this trip. I mean, we're coming all the way home from Hawaii just for the trip and then flying back to Hawaii. So obviously it's that important. But also we want to be part of this trip. Like, first of all, we live in Cali. This is going to be a fun trip. I'm just letting you know, guys. And I don't want to wear you out on this, but for those of you that can go all day and you're diehards, I mean, we'll go from the morning and we'll hit the nightlife, the fireworks. I mean, there's so many cool things to do here. I know Micaiah York and Dwayne Lodge are planning on the free day, and I'll probably join in on this now that I'm home. On the free day, we're going to do something special. We're going to do a getaway to probably one of the local Cali beaches. I think everybody's just chipping in and renting a van together from what I heard, and like a Costco run. I guess I can chip in the coolers and the beach gear to just have a one-off. That's what's cool about our group, right? It's like a total community. Like, yeah, it is Disney. It is a formal dream trip, but we're going to add some other stuff. But it is now a Disney mega leadership trip. get on this trip. We have all the leaders are coming on this trip, September 5th through the 9th. I mean, 5 days in Disney, $789 a person, double occupancy. I mean, it's a 5 day trip. Those of you that have been to Disney, okay, this is 2 full days, 1 day at Disney and 1 day at California Adventure, split in between days. We've really put a really good agenda together. And 789 a person. Like if you just try to get a ticket for 2 parks, you're going to see like you could spend $400 just on that. Okay. And so Tammy and I have been to the hotel, cool location. It is literally 5 minutes. We've included in the price transportation, which is like a bus that goes from the hotel. Like it's a special shuttle from the hotel to the park. So you have that every day. You have breakfast every day. If you drive, it's free hotel parking. And by the way, in Cali, that's like $50. So like that's, I mean, it could be 30 to $50 at these hotels. It's nuts. It's Disney, right? Welcome reception. And here's what we're doing because we are turning this into a leadership trip. It was already our mega trip. Is we've put a payment plan available. We've had a couple leaders ask us for this. So first thing is $250 a person. You can reserve your spot right now. Okay, we will sell this trip out 100%. Okay, 100%. We have a lot of people from the Playa de Carmen trip registering, and we have a lot of brand name leaders on this trip. Okay, we have a lot of brand name leaders. I know Jefferson's going to be there. I know Kenny. I know JoJo. Myself and Tammy are heading to this trip. I know Micaiah York's going to be in this trip, and I know we've heard people from the Playa trip are all looking to jump on this trip. Okay, and so $250 a person, double occupancy. If you're a single traveler just by yourself, it's 500, and you can just put that deposit down to lock this in. Okay, by June 25th. The final balance will be due quickly, right? Because this trip is right around the corner. We're just trying to make it a little bit easier. August 4th. So here's my step one is this: reserve your spot. Okay, I'm gonna put something special together for the leaders, but I just need to see who registers. Okay, I'm just gonna leave it at that. Okay, so we're gonna do something cool in this trip from a leadership standpoint. Final balance August 4th. Okay, the final balance, like if you put 250 down now, $250 a person down right now, your balance would be 539 a person. So right now, if like you're going with a friend, you put 250 down a piece, and then 539 a piece August 4th. Okay. You can also, I'm going to allow anybody that has Dream Trip points. So some of you are fairly new, and some of you, your Dream Trip points become available next month. So I'm going to let anyone in the company, in the community, use their Dream Trip points. So that's 178 points that you can use per room. Okay, so just think about that. So like if you're going right now with a friend, you put 250 a piece down, and then you have 539 due on August 4th. Well, you can deduct 178 from that total. So that's another $178. So this is just another way to be able to do that. You won't be able to use runway dollars on this trip. Okay, so this trip is a completely separate, leadership mega trip, but it is definitely done well if you just look at 250 down a person, 500 if it's single, and then the balance. So I'm going to encourage you guys, get registered right away. Okay, there is something that we're going to do together as a leadership group that I think can really enhance your overall ability to build a travel community here, earn rewards to travel around the world with us. And the other thing that I didn't hit as well, or I didn't hit as much, so I'm going to take this slide down here for a second. I'm going to go back to my camera. Give me 1 second. Awesome. I got a good view today, so I'm going to rely on my camera instead of a boring slide. Is we have a group of people that are traveling together. Okay, and a lot of you are on here today, and for those that watch it on the replay, they're on the other side of the world in a different time zone. And if you want to get around the people that are growing, get around the people that are growing. If you want to learn out what's hot in the business, get around the people that are making it hot. Okay, you want to learn how someone like Jefferson's been on over 200 trips, you got to get on a trip with Jefferson. You want to learn how Hottie's been on, I don't know, 50, 60, 70 trips in her career, like how she found the elephant sanctuary in Thailand. Like that's on my bucket list now. I never even heard of it. Okay, if you want to know about that kind of stuff, you got to get around those people, right? Our business is a very, very simple business out of all the things I've done in direct selling, because you basically go on trips and people ask you, hey, what the fives, that place looks off the charts. Where'd you learn about that? Oh, I'm part of DreamTrips. Man, Katarini, Greece. I've always heard Greece is awesome. I heard the food's amazing. Was it true? Oh my God, the food was off the charts. Man, I saw you guys went like on an island. Were you on an island? Oh man, they included a catamaran trip, to one of the islands in Greece. So when you're on a trip, people are asking you. You don't have to sell. When people are living through your eyes, they're seeing. You don't have to be a social media expert. You don't have to be good at this thing. You just have to be in it. You have to be part of the community. You have to be on their trips. When you're on the trips, what ends up happening is just you don't even have to try. You're posting things about being on the trip. You're posting, you're sharing things. You're not even trying to sell, and that is why we say step one is be a product of the product. If you're a product of the product, and you're on the trips, you can't stop this thing. You can't help but share it. You can't help but someone inbox you and say, "You've been on. Dude, what's going on? You were in Mexico, then you're in Slovenia, now you're in Jamaica. What's happening?" It's like a constant flow of inquisitive people that are inquiring. They're inquisitive. They're excited. They're slightly jealous. What the heck are you doing? What are you involved in? How did you find these? But how did you find that hotel in Rome? Man, you guys are making pasta in Rome. What the heck? What are you doing? I mean, I've had people ask me that. Like I did pizza making and tiramisu dessert classes in Rome with Tammy and the kids. And like, first of all, like you show up and like you're it's from scratch. You're putting the flour on a piece of marble. You're pouring a little water, a little salt. You're doing your deal, and you got your dough. And now you're making pizza. Now they break out the ingredients. Now they're making the sauce. Now you're putting your pizza, in the wood oven. And now you're making the tiramisu. And now you're sitting in Rome. Just vision this. Okay, you're sitting in Rome across from the world famous Pantheon, which is I'm not even going to go into that. But you have to go. You're sitting on the sidewalk with like 20 people that just learned how to make pizza in tiramisu in Rome. Okay, and that's like 1 4-hour experience of the whole week. It's crazy. Then you're at the Vatican. Then you're at the Colosseum. And then you're at our new friend who owns like this cheese and salami place. Like some of you have been on this trip with us where like I didn't know they had 40 types of salami and 100 types of cheeses, truffle cheese, spicy cheese, like just insane, right? You're in this little alleyway and the guy's giving you samples and then you're packaging it up and taking it home. So you don't realize, but as you're living that dream trip lifestyle, people are asking you, what the heck is Dream Trips? Okay, so you got to get in the rhythm, get on the trips. And last but not least, I'll throw this over to you, Tammy. I'm just going to give you the layout of the next call in the next DTA, Dream Trips Academy. The single most important thing that we talked about today is not the 3-part system, is you being in Disney. Okay. I'm in Hawaii. If you can't tell, I like being in Hawaii. I like being lazy in Hawaii. I don't want to come back. I never want to come back. I'm just gonna be honest with you. I've been trying to move here for 25 years. I was stationed here in the military, right near my house here. Why would you want to leave this place? It's just like every single day. I'm coming back with Tammy to Disney for 2 reasons. One, my wife's like, I'm not missing the Disney trip. That's how much Tammy loves Disney. Okay, I'm just telling you guys, it's a big family issue because my daughter and my wife always want to go to Disney. So all the guys were like, oh, we got to go to Disney again. We love Disney, but like they're Disney all the way. And so secondly is this leadership retreat. So we're turning Disney now into a leadership retreat. And we will be doing some VIP stuff that we don't want to talk about yet. But we want to first see who registers. In addition to the group that's already on, we already know some leaders that are coming. Go register, pop your deposit down. If there's any last second chance we could get extra rooms, it's now. So it's like I know there's enough people right now to fill all the rooms. So I already know that. So let's see who registers, and then we'll have another call about it as we get a little bit into this, maybe next week, on some ideas we have for turning this into a leadership retreat. I know I spent a lot of time with some of you in Greece. We did a travel transform with Jefferson, Tammy, Shush, Attila. It was a great personal development trip where we spent 4 hours. And then most recently, probably since Sarah, Mexico resort, or even I know Eric is on here. We were in Jaya. We were in Jamaica. We did another transform kind of training in there. So I see Disney turning into that in a very intimate way. And I think, some of these trips is where you really learn stuff because it's a smaller group and you got like 7 of the world's biggest leaders in the Dream Trips community are there and you're just chilling with them for 5 days. So there's no way you don't grow in life, in personal development, leadership, ability to build a successful Dream Trips community. There's no way you don't grow. So with that, super, super pumped to be able to see you in Disney. More details coming up here in a little bit. Get in the rhythm. And Tammy, I'll throw it back to you.
All right. Super excited. Like I said in the beginning, Mark and I missed the Mexico trip and we were very sad that we did because we were living vicariously through all the photos that were coming through the WeChat. But now it's our time to redeem ourselves because we're going to be at Disney. We're going to have a great time all together. First thing I'm going to tell you is go download the app. That's it right there. Disneyland. It's the castle. And we literally live by it. Not that you're going to have to learn it, but just download the app because you're going to end up putting your pass in there. But anyways, we can talk about that later. We're going to have so much fun. And Mark is right. My daughter and I, we go multiple times a month. We go there sometimes just for food. Like we'll just go there for dinner. Sometimes we'll just go for dessert. Sometimes we'll just go to walk around and get steps in. And if a ride is available, great. That's why we use the app, because you could literally go on there and see how long the waits are on different rides. And so if something has too long of a line, we divert, we change our plans, and we go somewhere else. So we're going to help you through that. Some people are going to be like, whoa, Tammy, no, I'm not going to do Disney like that, which is totally fine. We're going to have something for everyone. And I did see someone comment on there and say, what if I want to go on like big kid rides and I have young kids? Don't worry. I have an admission. I don't go on big kid rides. I can't do anything spinny. I can't do that. So I have to, hey, I'll watch your kids while you go on the big kid rides. We'll go on something else together. But yeah, we're going to have such a great time. And that's one thing I love about DreamTrips because, it's just like this family environment that's created from the welcome reception. And a lot of you that are going to be on this trip that I've already seen that have registered, you're going to be like, oh my gosh, I recognize you. I know you. We were in Mexico together. So that's what makes DreamTrips amazing, is because you meet these people along the way and you end up traveling to different places around the world together. And you just create this bond and this friendship, this like traveling partnership, friendship around the world. You get to know each other better. And it's just an amazing, amazing community. And so, yeah. So anyways, yes, love it. Tammy time. Yes, Tammy time. My daughter and I, neither one of us go on spinny things or things with big dips and, things like that. So we will gladly either go get a beignet, go get some Dole Whip, go get some sweets and treats, because that's what we're really there for also. We'll go do that with the kids while you guys can go ride the big kid rides. But anyways, like I said, there's something for everyone. We're definitely going to get our steps in. We're going to have so much fun, and we don't have to travel as a group. So don't think like, oh my gosh, if I go with these people, it's going to be like craziness. We have to be together. No, you can go do what you want, but you're welcome to join. It's so much fun, especially when we come as a group and we can get on these different rides, but we time it because we're not going to wait in a line. I mean, there are going to be some bigger lines and some people are going to go on things that others don't want to go on. That's fine. We'll figure it out. We're just going to go with the flow, and we'll just kind of share with you some of the information that my daughter and I have learned, and like how you can go and track and figure it all out, because we want you to take full advantage of these tickets. So one day we'll do one of the parks, and the next day we will do the other park, and they're actually right across from each other. And so, you're not going to go to completely like a different place. The bus is going to take us to the one place, and then one day we'll go to Disneyland, the other day we'll go to California Adventure. And yes, it is the 70th anniversary celebration. And what that means is they have rolled out new recipes and different things that they're only doing for the 70th anniversary for different restaurants and treats that they're offering around the park. It's like only going to be offered this time and never again, which that might not mean really anything for other people that are visiting like once a year or once in a lifetime. It's okay. Don't worry. It's going to be special nonetheless. We're going to have a great time. And they've put special consideration in the taste factor. And I will tell you, it's not the Disney of what it was 20 years ago, because 20 years ago, the food was like fried food and like mac and cheese and like not very good. Now they've completely leveled up. They kept their prices pretty nominal, which in my opinion, I would expect to spend a lot more thinking it's Disney, and they upped the ante and the food quality. No, they stabilize their prices. Now it's the same price as you going out to eat in your own neighborhood, restaurants or whatever. So anyways, I know I'm super excited about this trip because I cannot wait to meet a lot of you, a lot of new faces, new people, and create these incredible, incredible memories all together. We're going to have such a blast, and I can't wait for that beach day. Coming to our neck of the woods is going to be so awesome. We're going to have a great time. So anyways, okay, let me get to what I need to get to. I have 2 minutes, and I like to try to be on time as best as possible for you all to get off in a timely fashion. Okay, let's see. For some reason, I can't get into presentation mode. That's okay. You can still see it. when is our next Global Connect? This call happens again in 2 weeks. What date is that? It's going to be July 31st. So same place, same time on July 31st, because we do every other Thursday. So we can't wait to see you on this call again. The next thing, I don't know, my computer's freezing. Excuse me. The next important date we want to make sure is in your calendar is going to be August 9th, which is our DreamTrips Academy DTA. So we're excited to be able to present that to you, where we'll have a host of new trainers and topics and everything new trips also shared on at that event. It won't let me. Oh, now it is. Okay, perfect. And now it's blurry. Okay, here we are. Sorry, guys. I'm a little rusty. Like I said, it's been a little bit. The guys have been taking over for us for some time. Here's our Telegram app. We can't wait to plug in with you there. That's where we send out all the notices of information of different things that are going on. We will also, just FYI, for the Disney trip, we will create that the chat early, because there'll be some things that you'll want to be updated on, especially with all these special leadership training kind of topics that we're going to be talking about. And by the way, if you're bringing your children, which we know and we expect you are, don't think, oh shoot, what am I going to do with my kids when I have to do some meeting? No, we integrate it all together. We are a big family. We're going to do this together. We're going to accommodate. We're going to be able to do this in a fashion where you can bring the kids along as well. So don't think, oh gosh, and now maybe I shouldn't take the kids because it's going to be more of a business meeting. No, no, no. Just let's do the Disney trip. Let's make it a trip. We're going to work around what we're working with your children included. So we're very excited about that. Here's all of the little handles that you can follow us on social media. And I just want to just send you my appreciation. Those of you that have been sending testimonials and pictures to go with it, you might not see things posted immediately because there is a process. We have newsletters that we feature some of your testimonials and photos and videos on newsletters. We also have them on social media, and we also have to pre-plan it. So it's going to come out in a few weeks, not immediately right now. Sometimes we post them on stories. Some things are immediate. So for those of you that have, just amazingly, allowed us to have some of your testimonials, we thank you so much. And we are putting them to good use. They're either scheduled or they've already been featured. But we definitely thank you and always welcome more to come our way. You can either send it to us on WhatsApp, or you can send it to us on at letsgo@dreamtrips.com. So that's it. So thank you so much for your time, everyone. Let's see here. Let me go and check out any last minute things. Let's see anything. I'll get back to you. Okay, perfect. Make your bookings. We are so excited. And like Mark had said, there's a better chance of us adding rooms sooner than later. If we get closer to that travel date, or August 3rd, the cutoff date, that it lessens our ability to, lessens our chances of being able to add on more rooms, because let's face it, it's Disney. They're busy all year round. Some people might think, oh, well, everyone's going back to school, so maybe not as many people will go to Disney. That is true. That is true. A lot of people are busy. But when people have a chance to go to Disney and they figure out what works in their work schedule, they're like, forget it. The kids are coming out of school. We're going to Disney. So it's always busy, but we learn to work around it. And that's what we're going to do. It is over the weekend too. So it is over the weekend. So that is going to be helpful for everybody, I guess. So we are going to have such an incredible time. Where do I find the recording, Joseph? The recording will be provided on the Telegram app. If Jefferson, you can correct me if I'm wrong. We typically put the replay there, or also on Facebook.com. You can join the DTI Connection group, and we put it up there as well. So I know we want everyone to be able to access these recordings. It's a great call. So we thank you so much for your time, everyone. Have a wonderful, beautiful July. And yes, we'll get the replay out on Telegram. Okay, thank you so much, Jefferson. All right, perfect. Have a great day, everyone. Enjoy your summer. Be safe. And we look forward to hanging out with you and creating incredible experiences at our next big get together, our next big dream trip there in California at Disneyland. So have a great time, great day, everyone, and we'll talk to you later. Bye.